All right, this is Mrs. Query. I am making a little help video. I'm confident I'm going to get questions about this, so I'd like to help you. All right, so here's my fan and my force, or my, oh gosh, here's my cart and my force fan, and I'm going to play the video, and I turn the fan on, and someone cuts the string. Okay, so I'm going to bring it back. I'm going to move it. I want to just talk about some things before I show you how to measure the force. So right now it's sitting there, the fan is not on. I know this because when the fan is on, the spring will stretch. Then they turn the fan on. Now before she cuts this, before I can tell it's I think it's female, but anyway, before they cut the string or whatever it is, tape, string, whatever, that is sitting there with the fan on, so it's got a force to the right, and the spring is pulling to the left. And I know that those forces are equal to one another because I have zero acceleration. The velocity is zero and it's constant, and therefore those forces have to be equal to one another. So the force of the fan is pushing to the right and the spring is pulling to the left, and those forces are equal to one another. So if I have a way to measure how much force that spring is pulling to the left, then by default, I know how much the fan is pushing to the right. So how do I do that? I use my tool. I get my, not my ruler, okay? So they got a ruler here. I don't want my ruler. Okay, that's a nice tool to have. You're going to need that later. So let's get that to go away. And let's get my force ruler. Someone has calibrated this ruler to be equivalent to how much force the spring is applying based on how far it stretches. Actually, you're going to learn how to do that. So not now, but eventually. So let's go back to when it has no, the fan's not on. The car is just sitting there. There's no fan on, and it's just sitting at rest. The spring is not stretched. So that is, I'm going to take that this force ruler, and I'm going to place it on the bead. I don't know if you can see that. Notice I have 0 newtons at this moment. The spring is not pulling it because it's just sitting there at rest, and and the fan is not on. All right, I'm going to advance my video until it's sitting there running, holding it. The fan is trying to make it go, and the spring is trying to hold it back, and it's sitting there at rest. And look at that. Look at where the bead ended up. I'm at 1.5 newtons. Okay, and that was what the force, the fan of 3. So let's change the force of the fan. Let's go to a 5. Okay, and let's load that video. And the bead ends up in the same spot, which is good. Now, she hasn't cut it yet. Look at where the force is. Can we see it? It's between 2.45 and 2.5. Okay, makes sense. What about when the fan is at a speed of 1? Let's load that. That should be a smaller force, right? It doesn't have as much oomph. Fan doesn't have as much power. Okay, move it to the point in which, oh, I got a visitor. Anyway, hope that helps you. Come see me if you have any questions.
Hello.